Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Deadpool and Wolverine, a movie that, I don't know, they're going to try to fix the big mess that is the MCU, while at the same time rising up the characters that they have actors for and pushing back the other characters they no longer have because the actors have retired, or maybe they'll recast them. Who knows? What I do know is it's probably going to be a big jumbled mess of cameos. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. I've shot this video 3 times because it's so freaking convoluted I keep getting things confused. But okay. Now, if you're a normie, you're probably not going to follow any of this. But there's a bunch of different universes involved here. Okay? Now, the first universe is, of course, the Marvel Universe from the comics. So, the movie universe, the Disney movie universe, they bought Marvel, but they didn't have the X-Men right away for some reason. I forget exactly why. I don't know if Disney licensed them the X-Men, or the X-Men got licensed first and now they're going to get it back. But Disney has finally gotten the X-Men back, and that included Deadpool and Wolverine. So, this movie facilitates them returning to the MCU that they never really left, but whatever. So, the plot somehow involves, and this is the third Deadpool movie, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is living his life, right? He fixed his own timeline at the end of the last movie using Cable's time-jumping device. His girlfriend's alive, his friends are alive, and they're having a good time. But suddenly, the TVA show up. Now, the TVA technically is a contrivance of the comic. It was just sort of I looked it up. I thought it was just a TV thing, but it wasn't really made big in the comics. It was in like a 1986 Thor comic was when it was created. Kind of as a joke. Well, the good people at Disney decided the TVA would become a very important part of a TV show they did called Loki. See, because Loki's supposed to be a god, and how do you make a god less powerful in order to be, in order to be able to kick him in the balls every other episode, which is what happens on Loki, apparently. So the only way you could do that is you create something more powerful, so much more powerful than him. He's worthless. And so they did. They took the TVA and they made that the powerful entity in the show. So the TVA is all over the TV show Loki. And you would sort of have to see Loki to know that. Or do what I did, look it up on the internet and find out what the TVA was in the comics. Either way, it's a contrivance now of the television show and now the movies to fix timelines. In other words, they could just make things different and combine characters and plot lines and have cameos of different characters or whatever. So both Professor X's will be in this. The Patrick Stewart Professor X and the James McAvoy Professor X. The Liev Schreiber's in it. Benedict Cumberbatch. Everybody who's been in a Marvel movie in the last, 5 years is going to be in it. James Brolin's in it. I can see him in the background of that shot. Anyhow, the TVA monitors, it's called the time variance, something. They monitor the timelines. And if you screw one of them up, it creates more timelines. So their job is to prune the timeline so the main timeline is okay. And if you don't go along with them, they just make you disappear because you're a problem. You're a problem, right? So if in a timeline you save Lincoln, Well, that Lincoln is a problem because he's not supposed to survive, right? He was supposed to die. So they would make Lincoln part of the TVA or kill him, I guess. I don't know. So in this one, Deadpool and Wolverine, since they both traveled in time and changed their own histories, Deadpool did it in Deadpool 2. Wolverine did it in, the one with Jennifer Lawrence. The really good one. That was a good movie. He goes back in time to basically save the X-Men and undo Peter Dinklage's evil plan, because he's the guy who ends up building the Sentinels. So because both of them did that, they have to listen to the TVA to fix their timeline to save themselves and the people they love. What this will do is it will put them into a regular timeline, I guess, assuming they're both going to continue with this crap. I don't think it's crap. I think, I liked the Deadpool movies. I like most of the Wolverine movies to a certain extent. I mean, I like Hugh Jackman in the role. I don't know how much longer they can keep this up, but maybe this is their opportunity to just recast everybody. I don't know. I think this movie is supposed to lead into Secret Wars, which was another big crossover, another contrivance of comics to fix their continuity. But what you have to understand about comics is, whenever they did something like this, they would always go back to the characters you really liked. So when they did it in, for instance, the Marvel Universe in the comics, what would the Avengers be? Well, they would go back to the Avengers everybody likes. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and the Hulk, or, Ant-Man or something. The real X-Men. When you do it in the movies, you have a problem. Actors get older, and some of them ask for too much money, and some of them don't want to come back, and some of them die. So, are they going to get Robert Downey Jr. back? He just won an Oscar. I don't think he wants to do this anymore. I think he's done what he's done. Now, they could recast him, but will the fans accept that? Maybe. But then again, who wants to follow Robert Downey Jr. on a gig? Not me. So, what's going to happen in this? I think there's just going to be a ton of cameos. The contrivance is they're going to fix their timeline, but it's just going to be an excuse to travel to every different movie that you've seen over the years. And maybe a few alternate ones. With some characters or actors that you'll be, oh, he would have made a good Iron Man, or he would have made a good Hulk, or whatever. So, who knows? Maybe you're going to see both Hulks. Maybe you'll see Ed Norton make an appearance. I don't know. It'd be fun to see. So I think this is going to be most of the movie. It's just going to be fun cameos and wackiness. The ending, I think it's going to be like, well, this is going to be the new thing going in. Possibly introducing the X-Men to the Marvel Universe. And saying, well, now they're there. They've always been there. I'm not sure if they could have said that when they did the movies. Maybe. I don't know. But they're going to have this big thing, so you go spend some money and go see it. I am cautiously optimistic that this movie will at least be entertaining, simply because Ryan Reynolds is funny. He's good in the role. It's a fun role for him. Hugh Jackman's good in his role. So they're going to bash each other and keep regenerating. Then they're going to fight the Hulk, and they're going to kill a bunch of dudes. And in the end, they're going to win in some weird way. And you're going to see a bunch of cameos. So it's kind of part nostalgic, part comic book, part stupid. I got to think, though, the normies are going to be kind of like, what? Some of you, that are normies are probably like, I don't quite understand what you're saying. Yeah, it is confusing. It's confusing to me, and I kind of understand it. There's a movie continuity, a comic book continuity. There's separate movie continuities, really. There's two different Fox continuities, technically. There's the MCU continuity and a handful of other movies that are just sort of lying there. So, I don't know. I would like this movie to be good. I would. I genuinely, even though it's Disney, I would like to see this movie be good. ish. I would like it to be the end, though. I think they need to sort of shelve Marvel for a while and then maybe bring it back in 10 years with all new actors, with a better plan to go forward with a bunch of different movies, hopefully with storylines we haven't done yet. Will they do that? No. They're going to try to save the current one. So that's the word I hear. They're going to try to save the current one. They're going to try to recast all the X-Men. I think the X-Men will be recast. Whether or not Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds will be recast, maybe. Maybe this is the end of all the A-listers doing superheroes. Maybe this is going to be the last hurrah. And from this moment on, it's going to be all B-listers. Like actors you sort of recognize, but yeah, they're all right. I don't really know these guys, but it's cool. Because the problem is, if they decide to dump the A-listers and bring the superhero genre down a few pegs and do sort of CW remakes, you're going to get CW level of talent. And you think the writing's bad in some of these mainstream movies, wait till you see the writing on the CW. That CW level of writing is pretty. I could miss all of this, in my view. So, but maybe I'll go see it. I don't know. I'll wait for the nerds to weigh in. This is definitely one I would wait for the nerds. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. Thanks to all who came out to South Jersey Geek Fest at the Gateway Regional High School in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey. I finally remember the address. I had a great day. I sold a ton of books. Thank you all for coming out. I'll be back with more videos later. And don't forget the live stream, Easter live stream tomorrow. It's going to be a hop hippity live stream, if you can believe it. We're going to eat chocolate, and we're going to talk about Easter and religious things. Nah, we're not going to talk. We're going to talk about movies again. Yeah, we're going to talk about movies. Anyhow, hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.